loading into Mothership. Now, when it comes to this matchup, it's also shaken up quite a bit in the latest patch in map pool. We saw it with Shin series, Mutaplay, right? Mutaplay is a lot more viable here, a lot more accessible. No longer are you kind of constrained to Roach base openers, which was the meta for the past 2 years. I will say that was the most stale part about ZBT is non-stop Roach openers and Roach styles. We saw that a lot from Serral, from Raynor, and from Zerg players alike. But now I would say that builds and openers have opened up into a much more variety here in ZBT, alongside ZVP. I'm ready for it. Let's go. Spawning in the bottom side of Mothership, we have the French Terran player, we have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Mothership, we have the South Korean Zerg player, we have the Blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Here we go. We have our first series, we have our fresh best of 5, and we did see Solar versus Bjorn earlier, and Bjorn was a lot more passive, is what I will say. He was very, very passive, and we saw Solar look insanely comfortable. He was very, very comfortable, Solar, getting up to his 4 bases, getting up to 80 workers, gaining map control, and snowballing out of control with his Lingbane Hydra into Lurker tech. Bjorn had a really hard time asserting himself early on, and we saw the stark contrast with Clem versus Shin, where every game Shin was trying to cut corners, trying to be greedy, trying to go into Mutaplay, and Clem punished him time and time again. Now Solar didn't touch mutas in his series, and likewise he had a much more comfortable start. We'll see how Clem will approach a much more standard Zerg player who might not really get into any kind of Mutaplay. Yo, shout out to Solar. Subscribe to the tuna, papi. True. Oh no. Harsam YouTube unsub. Shin YouTube sub. True. Let's go. Shout out to Solar for supporting the Korean YouTubers Ryung and Shin. Let's go. Este Solar. Shout out to Clem for also supporting Solar and saying to unsub to Hearthstone. So aye. For those who are curious, Ryung is casting this event in Korean. He does cast the Open Cups from time to time. He casts even our tournaments in Korean as well whenever he's free. So Ryung has been casting a lot more and creating more content. He's a great guy. Much love to Ryung. He's an honorary duckling. By that I mean he's a tuna, but you know, it's now Clem is going to be zoned away. As behind this, Clem Hello is going for a 1-1-1. Okay, so a hyper aggressive build here out of Clem. This would punish Solar if he was being a little bit more greedy. If you remember, Clem also went for a 1-1-1 against Shin on this map, and he was able to shut down Shin's Mutaplay. But as we can see here, Solar, he's droning, he's saturating, he is not rushing into earlier gas production or earlier gas income, earlier gas mining. Solar looks like he's playing standard. He's not going for a fast layer. So I would say here in this kind of game state, the onus is on Clem to find some damage, right? Like he himself, he's delaying his third base, he's delaying his economy. He's fixated on Hellion and Banshee play early on with earlier stim. And he needs to make this worth it. So the pressure's on Clem. We'll see if he can. We'll see if he can find that damage. He is rotating. Meanwhile, it is going to be Evo Chamber first here out of Solar. If you remember, he went Evo Chamber first at both games against Bjorn. This is for an earlier Carapace. Ooh, this Reaper does get shut down. Of course, Carapace being the most important upgrade when it comes to versus Bio in ZBT. So upgrade's going to be on the way. This isn't too greedy. A greedier build here would be double Evo Chamber and double upgrades. Here it's only one. Only one Evo Chamber, only one upgrade in towards layer tech. This is still greedy, just not the greediest you can go for. What's the downside? The downside is that your lair is going to be later, and as a result, your Overseer Scout is going to be later, and your Baneling Speed is going to be later as well. So certain lair tech options are delayed. So later scouting, later Baneling Speed, but faster +1. And leads into faster upgrades in general. So we'll see if Solo can get away with it. It means that if Clem were to go for an early Hellbat push and early sim timings and early hyper-committed builds, then Solo will be in danger. Now Hellions, they attempt to dive in. Nice movement here by Clem. Trades well. Shuts down all the Lings. Yeah, Lings get roasted. He's making his way into the middle line. 3 Hellions do get in. Ooh, Eva Chambers not in time. Oh, now the drones! Oh my god, they're getting roasted. Yeah, 3 drones going down. Oh, some of them line up. Getting up to 4. And Clem trades well. Doesn't do critical damage, doesn't kill. There's a chance where he could have killed everything here. 5 drone kills in the end. Banshees, they hit the natural. Finding more damage. Getting up to 6. Oh, Spore does reposition. Getting up to 7. It's going to be 8 drone kills. I was curious to see. 22 Lings have gone down to the Hellions and Banshees. Overall, better trades from Clem. So far, so good. But remember, Clem needs to find some damage because his third base is non-existent. Oh my gosh. Alright, no, there it is. So third base is now being landed. Again, it is a delayed third base. So Clem, he had to find some damage, and he did. I wouldn't say he's done enough to cripple Solar, but he's done enough to make his opener worth it. To gain some momentum, to gain some map control. And now here comes the earlier stim timing. So stim is ready, medevacs move out. You can see here that the Baneling is just now finishing. As a result, Baneling speed again is heavily delayed. That's the downside of going into +1 carapace. Chop is moving in. Clem is going for it. Does find a queen, not bad. Queen barely does not go down. Okay, never mind. Solo holds. Solo defends. So nice defense here by Solar, barely saving that queen. Clem securing his third. Second factory's on the way. This tells us that Clem is macroing. That means macroing up. He's getting into a 4th CC. Yo, shout out to the 3D printing Tempest Phoenixes. Love to see it. But so far, Solo's keeping up. Solo, he's had a bit of a shaky early game, but he's keeping up for the most part. He's expanding, he's droning up, getting up towards 80 workers. Right now, the pressure's still on Clem. He's going for a split push. And we'll see if Clem can break Solar. Can he break him? Oh. Distracting on the right. Banshees, they hit on the left. Drop into the center. And the Banshees, they're finding some damage. Hatchery down to half HP. I'm going for the center expansion. Does pick up in time. Cool. That's an okay mine drop. Hatchery's down to less than half HP, actually. Okay. Hatchery's getting low. But Solo should be able to keep up. He has plenty of Ling Bane on the ground. Solar is in position. He's keeping up with the drops. He maintains his economy. I spoke too soon. Using a couple of extra workers. So 3 more drones, losing more mining time. The main army is now pushing in. And it's going to be close. It's going to come down to the engage. How good are the mine shots going to be? How good is the split going to be? Here it comes. Clem does move out. The army's out of position. Oh no. Yeah, Solo completely out of position. The base will go down. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, that should not have happened. But Solo, he misread the movement. He believed that Clem was rotating to the top side. And he'll lose the base. Yeah, base goes down. Oh, the mine shots. Make some mind connections. Clem here trades solo, takes down the expansion, drops the still being active. And again, what happened there was Solar, he was rotating towards this northern base, whereas the attack was happening in the center. So misread out of Solar. I say misread, unfortunately he had no map vision, so he didn't see the army rotation. Comes down to the creep, essentially. Comes down to the, I mean, there is no creep, essentially. There's a couple of active tumors. There's, what, 2 tumors here in the center, 1 on the right, there's 2 here on the left. Barely any creep on the map. And without that Solar, he has to react to whatever his creep does tell him. It's barely anything. Barely any vision, any information. Oof. Lion shots are brutal. The lion shots back. And Solar, he's up against the wall. Like Solar, he's barely hanging on here. Ooh, Bailing goes down. No Bailings left. They're going to be denied. We're getting to the middle line. GG gets called. The natural is broken, and Clem takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very strong start here from Clem. Again, Solar, he was keeping up for the most part when it came to the army movement and when it came to dealing with the drop play and drop harass. But as we were emphasizing towards the end, Clem was doing a great job when it came to denying creep, when it came to focusing down tumors, denying creep, denying vision, and keeping Solar's map awareness at a minimum. Which is why when eventually the main army pushed, we saw that Solar wasn't ready. He was out of position. Solar, he was completely out of position for the main army because he saw nothing, because he had no creep on the map. GG. GG, well played. Whew. Clem did overwhelm, and Clem takes the lead. And we'll see if Clem can extend that lead or if Solar can bounce back. As we load into game 2, load into Winter Madness. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Adobe One Kenobi. Gracias. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. And welcome one and all to the WardiTV Monday number 63 finals. We're here in the best of 5. We just finished up and wrapped up game 1. Now we're loading into game number 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the French Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Here we go. So we're loading into game 2. And again, Clem, he was hyper aggressive. He was very in the face of Solar. It came down to the opener, if you recall, went for a 1-1-1. Began with a Hellion Reaper, followed up with earlier Stim, and with the Fire Drop afterwards. And yes, Solar, for the most part, he was minimizing losses, but he was unable to maintain his creep, unable to maintain his map control. And Clem took full advantage. Did take full advantage. And now welcome to Winter Madness. Winter Madness is one of the other larger maps of the map pool, very large map, much more defendable as well. We could see Clem even play standard on this map instead, going for a faster 3rd CC into a 4th base as well. The 4 base setup here is very defendable, so we could see Clem embrace a longer macro game. We'll see. In general, I don't like the idea of giving Solar too much room, so we'll see how Clem will approach this. At the same time, because this map is so large and because it can be so defendable, I would say that Muta play is a lot more viable here, and we do see a lot more commonly on Winter Madness. We've seen a lot of Muta play already this tournament, this broadcast, but we actually haven't seen Solar go Mutas in a ZVT yet. Didn't do it against Beyond. He might just not be fond of it, period. We'll see. We shall see. As always, going into mutas is always a risk. It is a risk. We'll see if it's one that Solar's willing to take. For now, very nice eBay. Yo, what is this? A TVP? Nice eBay block out of Clem. He will be able to deny the expansion. Reaper dips in, and Solar, he's stuck on 2 bases. Ay. A very rough start here, but this is also a big investment by Clem. I've never seen an eBay block here in ZVT except for Future. True. If you watch Future, the American Terran player, he has done this in ZVT before. And I mean, Clem and Future, they were roommates. They were housemates, I should say, for a while. I feel like Future is rubbing off on Clem. Like, what's again? He's literally the only other player I've seen do this. Ay. For those who don't remember, Future and Clem, they did live together last year in 2024. In the lead up to EWC, it was Clem, Future, Estrella, and Trigger, and I think Zane as well. I think they were all living together in Korea. That was the lead up to Clem becoming the world champion. And the fast layer. So we're going for a 320, if not, I think 315 layer timing. So very fast layer, gases are being taken. This screams 2-base Muta out of Solar, but it feels like he's being forced into 2-base Muta because of the eBay block. So he's being forced into it. Checking Clem's vision here, he has not scouted the main base. It is imperative that he scouts at some point. For all he knows, it could be 2-base Muta, it could be 2-base Roach, it could be 2-base anything, but he needs to figure out where that money is being spent, what exactly is going on. Because he knows there's no base, he knows there must be something else happening. As we have all 4 gases. And there's the Spire. So 2-base Muta out of Solo. But again, it feels like more of a forced reaction. Clem, does he go for the dive? We got slow Link to defend. Remember, Link speed was delayed. Queens are keeping up. As the Spire is almost halfway done. Clem, what's the plan? Behind this, he's going into Cloak Banshee. Third TC is on the way. It is a delayed third TC. True. It is a little bit later. The Banshees, this will be ideal against roaches, but as we can see, there's no roaches in sight. Banshee dips in. Doesn't see much. Uh-oh. Clem, he's still playing blind, by the way. This can work. The Mutas, the Mutas pack. Like Clem, he punished Shin every time he played Muta against Clem previously in the quarterfinals. But Clem has no idea. I mean, he should. Like, he sees the gas, right? He sees the gas mining. He should be aware that something is wrong. Nice split there by Solar. He zones away. And the Mutas are about to pop. And there are no turrets back at home. There are plenty of Marines at least. As Mutas, they are revealed. The Mutas reveal themselves. There we go. Now we have the turrets being thrown down, but it's a late reaction here by Clem. At least he's aware. As Clem, he will lose map control. And he went, and again, he went for a standard follow-up. Doesn't really have much pushing power here. Nice harass. Gets a couple of drones. But not much more than that. Need to say 5 more damage, getting 4 Marines. Or now 5 Marine kills. Going into the main base. There's no turret protecting the production. More SCVs going down. And this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand here. 5 SCV kills. Shin, he never found this amount of damage, but again, a big part of it is a late scouting, late reaction. A more conservative build as well as the follow-up. Solo not looking too bad. Now, when it comes to turtling up and defending back at home, as we mentioned before, Winter Madness isn't a bad map for it, so we could see Clem just do that. And decide to turtle and get a 4th TC, throw down more turrets. We'll see. Gas is being taken, factory's on the way, so he's not going for an ARAX, he's not going for a 3-base all-in, he's taking up. He's taking up his macroing. Again, higher chance that he does get a 4th base. Solo's looking good. Oh. Consuming that out. The almost gets full medevac. Calm down. Picking up add-ons. Gets another medevac as well. Another add-on. Jesus. A nice value here by Solar. Back at home, getting up to 80 workers. Past 80, actually. Infestation bits on the way, and the end goal here for Solar, he's got one of two choices. Either he just goes mass muta and doesn't stop making mutas and has some link main support, or he does make a hard switch into ultras. Let's see where Solar takes us. As he's just bullying Clem at this point, so we do have 17 mutas, soon to be 20. As eBay goes down, denies +2. Clem doesn't have to move out. Solar, he has yet to spot this. Oh, now he does. Does spot the move out. It's on Solar to catch the tail end of this army. Solar actually going for the backstab instead. Bold move. He gets some decent bailing connections on the Marines. Mutas, they do get into the third. Kills the turrets. And Clem turns everything around. Okay, he F2's back home. He F2's back home instead. Races back, more production under fire, more SCVs going down as well. This is a big gamble here from Solar to go for the counterattack, and it works. It works well. Solar, he buys so much time. You can see Clem setting up with the trap. He gets spotted. Clem gets spotted. Solar's things are coming. Collapsing on the Marines. Catching out some of the tanks. Yeah, tanks are unsieged. They do get focused down. And a better engage here from Solar, just catching Clem off guard. The Panzer are down. The army falls. Going for the CC. Can he get a kill? Oh my god, barely can. It's burning. This repair. Yeah, this repair in time. Whew. Clem does barely save it. Saves the expansion, but still does a better trade for Solar. We spoke about it. We spoke about the options, and it is going to be the switch into ultras. So it's going for the ultra switch. Now collapsing on more portions here of Clem's army. It doesn't commit in. He does find some damage. Let's get a hatchery. Oof. Let's find some. I'm still not entirely convinced by this move out. He is very heavily reliant here on the Widow mines. It's a lot of mines. Solar collapsing on the drops instead. We'll bleed out a couple of mutas. Does catch the Marines. Once again, does force Clem to react. So Solar's being given more time. Kind of splitting is on the way. The Ultra Cavern is done. And Ultras are coming. Oof. Remember, at this point, we're done with the mutas. It's soon going to be all about the Ultras. Soon. Solar, he wants those Thors. Gets one. Oof, does force a pickup. Got the surround. Catching Clem out. And going for another backstab. Another counterattack. Oh. Oh my god. Brutal mine shots. Widow mines to connect. Clem trying to catch out those mutas. Ultras are slowly amassing. And Clem, he has no good answer, to be honest. He has no good answer against the Ultras. He has a couple of Marauders. He has no Ghosts, no Liberators. It's going to be a bigger power spike here for Solar. So he's moving in. Nice door shots. Shots to zone away. Oh my god, geez. That's not my job. They brutalized the Ling Bane. Yeah, Ling Bane just evaporates to the Widow Mines. Clem, he can break through. Doesn't have the best army against Ultras, but if there's no Ling Bane support, then sure he can make this work. He can still make this work. Ultras being focused down. Marines survive. And Solar's in trouble. Solar's in trouble. Base goes down. Ultras go down. One bad fight, sometimes all it takes. Up. Up. Oh my god, speaking of the Widow Mines. Yeah, Widow Mines are resetting. More mine shots are popping off. Oh my god. Painlings are shot down. Not again. No. Calm down, Pat. So many mine shots. Soul does hold. Does hold on. Chasing down the medevacs as well. It's a very medevac heavy army. But Solar survives. That was 109 Lings going down. 109 Zerglings. 2 Ultras. Get a very efficient trade here for Clem. But as you can see, over time, it's becoming less of a Ling Bane army and more of an Ultra army. It's building up more Ultras. It's going to be less susceptible here to Widow Mine shots. At least a little bit less. The final mutas are being thrown away. Oh, sorry, there's still 16. Still 16 mutas left over. Oh, man! Oh, Jesus. Hero splits, no reaction. Clem caught with his pants down. He was inattentive. Nice defense here by Solar. Clem, he wasn't looking. Wasn't paying attention. This time the Widow Mine shots, only one of them goes off. Better engage out of Solar. Yeah, baits out the Widow Mines. Ultras are moving in as well. And Solar, he's holding. He's holding. He shuts down the army. Did have that one rough fight earlier, but now he's tightening up. He's locking in. Not again. Not this time. Oof. Widow Mine shot goes off on the Banelings. Ultras, they break on through. And remember, Ghost is just now on the way. Third on Factor as he gets into the mineral line. The SCV is going to be going down. Third base is forfeit. Main army just cannot engage. He's being zoned away. Being zoned further back. And Solar's so close to just breaking Clem. I mean, he has done so. 14 dead SCVs. Doesn't get into the natural. It's mainly Marauder here. So mutas, they can just go to town. You see Solar switching back into muta play. It's a bold move. But now up to 20 mutas. Oh. And Clem just pulled apart. He does have 2 fresh mining bases, 2 planetaries, but they are so spread thin. They're so isolated from each other. And Solar can just pick and choose. Just pick and choose what he wants. Where are we headed? What's the plan? Main army gets spotted by the changelings. Solar sets up for the base on the right hand side. Oh. Distracted by the drop. Okay, nice drop. 6 turns. Nice shot goes off. Marines, they drop into the main. Yeah, an awkward defense here by Solar. Mutas, they head back in. They do cause a distraction. Ultras, they head for the planetary. This planetary will go down. Does survive with the SCVs at least. Does pull away. Works get out. Mutas, they bust into the main. Going for the production. Nice mainly connections. And we're trading bases. The banks are quite comparable. But Mutas, they get into another middle line. No anti-air. There's zero anti-air here. No widow mines, no towers, no nothing. More dead SCVs. Clem is getting cornered. As Mutas, they collapse in. Yeah, they just collapse on the army. Oof. Clem desperately trying to get away. But a chaotic fight here for Clem. Okay, caught out. Yo, we got a drone in the mix as well. Let's go. Bailey crashes into the ghost with that. There's barely a standing army going for the final base. The last bastion here of any kind of mining for Clem. And he will lose it. Okay, losing the expansion. Mine shots going off. Base goes down. Mineralize exposed. GG gets called. And Solar ties up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. We are getting into a series. We have it back and forth, winding it back. As a reminder, Solar, he got away with 2-base Muta, surprisingly so. Remember, Solar, he was forced into 2-base play. We saw a crazy eBay block out of Clem. It was successful. It was a successful block. He denied the expansion. He contained Solar on 2 bases, and Solar, he was forced to take his gases, get a lair, and go for a 3-15 lair timing, rushing into 2-base Muta, which did go unscouted. The Mutas did a surprising amount of damage. They were killing SCVs, killing workers, keeping Clem busy, keeping him pinned back. And that was on Clem. That was on Clem for not to confirm what was happening. In the follow-up after the eBay block, Clem went for a standard build. Standard build, so light aggression, light harassment. He was just building up into a 3rd base instead. And he failed to punish. He failed to punish Solar, as he had no idea what Solar was up to. It almost looked like he was assuming Solar would play Roaches. It almost looked like he was getting ready for Roach play just because he went into Banshee play as a follow-up. And alas, he was unable to confirm. Mutas, a gain map control, and Solar snowballed from there. GG. GG, well played. Did have a bit of a back and forth mid-game. If you recall, we did see some better fights for Clem, that is true, but for the most part, the Mutas gave Solar enough breathing room to get more bases, build up a bank, have a better economy, and afford some of the worst trades. Here we go. Here we go. With that, we're getting into game 3. Going to be loading into... I said Mothership. I'm going to be loading into White Rabbits. Let's go. As we are loading into our next game and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the French Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. Being forced into a tied series, it is Clem. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Solar media play was so good this game, for sure, but I do also want to say that partly was also on Clem. Winding it back, if you recall, Shin, he played Mutas twice against Clem, and both games Shin was punished very hard. Part of the reason for that, of course, was Clem's hyper-aggression. There were even games where Clem did not scout Shin, by the way. Didn't scout Shin early on, but Clem was blindly going for 1-1-1s or going for early 2-1-1 timings as well, early stim timings. Clem was hyper-aggressive, and he was able to punish Shin time and time again. In that last game, as I was trying to emphasize, Clem played standard. He did not follow up with an aggressive build, so Solo got away with his Muta play. The 2-base Muta, he was able to get away with it, able to gain map control, and look so much more comfortable. I'm sure Shin is watching. He might even be casting this series, and Shin's like, why didn't Clem do that against me? He's like, Shin's like, ay, este Clem. True. As in Shin's series, Clem didn't give him any room to get into Mutas. In the last game, Clem did give Solo some room, right? Clem, he was a little more passive in the follow-up. And you could see what Solo would do with that passivity, right? If given room, if given time, then Solo, he will pop off. But here we go. Here we go. So now welcome on to White Rabbits. White Rabbits is another one of these larger maps. It's a larger map. I would say it's a relatively defendable map as well. Fun fact, if we wanted to, I would say that Muta play is also viable here, right? When I think of Mutas, when I think of the current map pool, I think of Winter Madness, I think of Mothership, and I think of White Rabbit as well. So this is another larger map where Muta play can be very successful just because counterattacks are going to be even more delayed just because of the size of the map. Likewise, rotating in between the bases, it could be a little bit more flexible as well. So Muta play is going to be once again an option for Solar. I personally don't like the idea of going for Mutas 2 games in a row, like just because even though it was successful the first time, there's going to be a higher chance that Clem checks for Mutas in game 3. So a much higher chance. So we'll see if Solar gambles. We'll see if he gambas. For now, Clem going for a 3rd CC, so 3rd CC before Starport, economic build out of Clem. There it is, Starport is on the way. Economic standard opener out of our Terran player. Meanwhile, Solar, he's droning. You can see the Solar, he does not pull back into gas. So it doesn't pull back in, no fast lair, no 2-base Muta. So both players are calming down, both players are playing standard. Now, technically, we could go into a later Spire coming into the mid game. That's true. Like, we could just see a bit of a tamer start into a later Spire. It's less common, but is an option. Clem is rotating. Oh, get the tumor, not bad. So far, Clem's doing an amazing job here, just shutting down the tumors. Tumors are going down. It's going to be a 4:20 lair timing. A little bit earlier than normal. Okay. Only by like a couple of seconds. But is going lair first. For the first time this series, I mean, kind of. Sure, last game we did see 2-base Muta with a really fast lair timing. But we've seen Solo very commonly go for earlier Evo chambers. Not this time. Lair first. Second gas geyser is on the way. You have my attention. He's taking his gases. I don't see an Eva chamber. I don't see a Baneling nest. This could still be Mutas. Just later. So eyes are on Solar. Behind this, Clem just playing standard, going to his 3-1-1 follow-up. Into stim, combat shields, borrow, okay. All the gases, it has to be Muta. Let's go. Lair is now done. We're still missing a little bit of gas, so don't quite have the gas for it. Hellions, they attempt to dive, but the queens do hold their own. Overseer's morphing in to defend. Jesus, taking all 6 gases. Oh, and I was expecting a Spire, but no. Cheeky move out of Solar, rushing into a Hydra Den. Okay. Pulling a Miyamika. Oh. As Lings, they do catch out to 2 of those Hellions. 3 Hellions even. Oh, just 2. There we go. 3rd Hellion goes down. A better trade here from Solar. Clem did overextend. The Banshees, they hit the main base. They get eyes on the lair. They get eyes on the gases at the 3rd as well. True. I'll be honest, based on what Clem sees, he sees lair, he sees gases. Clem, we can see that the Eva chambers that were hidden here behind the mineral line as well. Very nice moves out of Solar. He hides the Eva chambers. He hides the Baneling. I mean, there is no Baneling nest. True. There it is. He hides the Baneling nest. This is all to make it look like he's playing Muta, basically. He's selling the story of playing Muta. He's trying to, at least. Meanwhile, Clem is building up his bio. He's moving out. And Solar, he's going to have that +1 timing here. Clem sims in. Illustrious Hughes saves the queen. Hydras are revealed. Now he knows. Yeah, now he knows instantly tank production. Again, you don't want Widowmines here against Link main Hydra. Especially against a heavy Hydra count, so tanks are on the way. But what I should say as well is that tank production is delayed. It has been delayed here because Clem wasn't sure what was going on. So late second tank. Nice pickups here against the Lings. But again, things looking very intense. Solo Heat did drone up all the way up to 85. Droned up heavily, and now it's time to just crank out nothing but Lings and Hydras. Again, that's a lot of Hydras, more than usual. It's a very heavy Hydra composition. We still have Drilling Claws on the way, still going into Widowmines. Interesting choice. Biomine can struggle quite hard against Lurkers. But we'll see if Clem can get some momentum. Clem is moving in. Sims forward, no Bailings. True. Yeah, Bailings, they're just not finishing up. But they're trickling in. Nice target firing, very nice target firing here out of Clem. He breaks through the Bailings. Gets on top of the Hydras, and Clem, he might just break through here and now. He might just break through. It's getting close. Lings trickle in. Tank is gonna fall. And takes out the tank, and Solar barely does hold on. Whew. And again, Solar's big power spike. Lurkers. Lurker Den is on the way. Hive is on the way. Solar, he's almost there. He's almost there. And again, Clem's army is not built to fight against Lurkers. He's got Marine Widowmine. It's a very fragile composition. Very fragile. It's very much so a glass cannon. And those move in. First one shot going up. Oh. Tries to bait out the other two. Clem's moving on the right. Once again trying to break Solar. Decent mine connections. Yeah, Widowmine shots are popping up. Lings are going down. Solar, he's in danger. He's in trouble. As you mentioned, Solar, he's just trying to survive until Lurkers. And here they come. 8 Lurkers are morphing in. Solar, he's almost there. He's almost there. Enemy rotates to the center. Widowmines are moving in, but Lurkers have arrived. And they have upgrades. They have range. A little bit far back, but massive shots go off. Jesus. And Marines, they just melt against the Lurkers. Clem is going to be forced back. Solar, he maxes out. Oh. Oh my god. There's so many Widowmines. But hey, the Lurkers are here to deal with them. Here to clean up. Production off down. Solar, he can rotate and keep up with the pushes. Cannon, he does. Oh. Respecting the Widowmines. But once again, we saw this in game 1. The lack of creep spread is killing Solar. He just has no vision of the rotations. Oh my god. Hatchery barely goes down. Solar still holding on. Still does save his 4th at least. He's cutting out a Clem. Yeah, lurkers, they do get up the ramp, just going straight to, oh no, the lurkers, they pop up, and GG gets called, gets up the ramp, and Solar, he survives until lurkers, and with that, snowballs out of control. Solar takes game number 3. Whew, GG. Solar, once he built up into lurkers again, Clem was just outscaled. We did mention it at the time, but Clem, he was hyper committed by going into Marine Widowmine. He just did not really have an army that could fight the lurkers. His goal was to kill Solar before they really came into play. He failed to do so. Failed to break Solar. We saw that Clem was building up into Ghost towards the end, but it was too little too late. Again, just very delayed Ghost production, very delayed tech out of Clem. GG, well played. Whew. And Solar takes the lead in the series, and we'll see if he can take it from here or if Clem can bounce back and force the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. Whew. But once again, a really cheeky play to Solar. Again, it felt very intentional that he was hiding his Baneliness, was hiding his Evo Chambers. It felt like he was trying to sell the story that he was going into Mutas, and he forced this Biomine response out of Clem. Whereas we emphasized, Biomine is amazing against Lingbane Muta, but it struggles against Hydra Lurker play. Let's go. Let's get in. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the French Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. Down in the series, we'll see if he bounces back. It is Clem. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. One game away from claiming the series, and welcome to finally one of the smaller maps in the map pool. In general, the map pool is very large. It's very large. I'm referring to Celestial Enclave, referring to the Old Republic, White Rabbits, Celestial Enclave, White Rabbits, not 10,000 feet, the other one. Winter Madness, there we go. Winter Madness, Tidal Citadel. There are, well, Mothership, true. There's a lot of larger maps, but now we are featuring some of the smaller maps out there. I'm referring to Ruby Rock, referring to 10,000 feet, and referring to Tourmaline. These 3 maps, they're the more aggressive, the more smaller and more assertive maps in the map pool. This is where Clem has the option to be hyper assertive, hyper aggressive, and go for something like an 8 ranks, or even go for early Hellbound pushes as well. He has options. Clem has options to be aggressive. Now, because the map is so small, this is where roach play is more viable. I did mention previously that we saw a lot of roaches over the past couple of years, just because it was more viable to go into 8 ranks and hyper aggressive builds from Terran players. Likewise, Banelings were less viable, so we saw so many roach openers in ZVT over the past 2 years. But now Banelings are more accessible because of the buff to Banelings, because of the HP buff. So Solar doesn't have to play roaches, but it will just be a safer option. We'll see. We shall see. Does he feel scared enough to play roaches, or does he feel safe enough to play Lingbane? For now, going for the 3rd. Solar, he'll take his 3rd. Reaper moves in. So far, standard opener, hatch gas pool. No crazy eBay block. Crazy. Clem does catch one of the blings. Not bad. So who won the last game? Solar. Solar took a lead. Against Solar, he was able to defend, survive, get into lurker tech, and then snowball out of control with his lurkers. Meanwhile, we do see Clem. Interesting. We spoke about this. This map does favor aggression, and Clem is going for a 1-1-1. Late 3rd base. Late 3rd CC out of Clem. Fast start, but instead, with this can lead into early and committed Hellion Banshee harass, and we can go one step further with this, go for early stim into a Hellbat timing, and a Hellbat push. So we'll see how hard Clem commits. Oh, we are pulling back into gas early. That is very early gas income here by Solar. Meanwhile, there it is. Armory's on the way. As we mentioned, Clem had the option to double down and go for Hellbats, and he is. He's going for the Hellbat push. Much more committed here by Clem. He's going to double down. Now, Solar did choose to pull back in a gas, which means he can afford to go for, say, a Roach Warren, a Baneling Nest. Does Solar play it safe? No shot, he goes for a lair. He has the gas for it. He has the 100 gas. Reaper Hellion pokes in. Yep, no Baneling Nest. No Baneling Nest, no Roach Warren. Solar, he's not playing safe. Here come the Hellbats. It's just purely Link Queen. Purely Link Queen defense. Can Solar hold on? We have 14 Links in production. Clem is hunting down the Queens. Shaves with the Lings. Queens, they do kite back. Nice control so far. One Queen goes down. Gets one. Yeah, gets one. He's going to get two. Lings are trickling in. Nice focus firing on the Medevac. Okay, Medevac goes down. And with that Solar, he will hold. He will hold. He will defend. Clem, he doesn't do enough here. Remember, Clem, he delayed his third base. He delayed his third base for this. This had to do more damage. Had to do more, pappy. As Clem, he killed 4 Queens. 4 Queens, killed 22 Lings. That was nice, but not good enough. And Solar responds with a Roach one. I do like this. I do like this Roach response. This is going to be leading into an early Roach timing. Solar, he knows he's ahead. Essentially, he knows he's ahead. He knows that Clem is vulnerable. Nice surround. Catches out 2 Hellions. Surrounds the army. Clem is in danger. Again, the scary thing here is that he just has lost map control. So he has no vision, no scouting. He doesn't know what's going on. Third TC is delayed. T-Burst going to be brought down. Clem, he has nothing. He's got a tank on the way. That's 2 dead depots. Supply blocking Clem. Ay, ay, ay. And the Roach Warren is done. The Roach Warren is now done. Now the question becomes, is this a safety Roach Warren or is Solar going to double down? About to find out with the upgrades. Yeah, he's going to commit. There we go, range. He's going for the range upgrades. He's going for the Roach timing. Now, something that we spoke earlier about this. Welcome to Ruby Rock. We spoke about it. The rush distance by ground is very short, but specifically the third base is very open. You can see here we have a very wide open entrance here into the third, likewise into the southern linear third base as well. So yes, Clem is building up into a third base, but his third base is going to be insanely vulnerable to a Roach timing, to a Roach all in. And Solar's going for it. He's going to go for it. Clem is going for the triangular third. Again, the scary thing here is that we could see Solar push into the third base, or he could even head straight for the natural. Like, we can just push up this ramp or rotate from the south side, head for the natural instead. Solar has options. As Solar, he joins up to 66. That is 3 base saturation, 4th base just for larva. Lings are amassing, Roaches are amassing, Ravagers are morphing in. And Solar, he's about to pull the trigger. Clem, he's moving out. He has to get something done. I don't blame him. Picks off some Roaches, not bad. And he also scouts as well, true. As he wasn't aware of the Roaches earlier. The scary thing here, though, is if he loses this fight, he'll lose 2 tanks. And he will lose them. Yeah, the Biles will connect. First tank goes down. Second tank as well. Can he save it? Oh, he cannot. So 2 tanks will fall. And because Clem chose to be aggressive like this, that means he has 2 less tanks to defend. And remember, Solar's all in. Solar, he's not droning. He's not droning up at all. So a massive 3 base all in. And now Clem, he has 1 tank to defend. 1 defensive tank. He has a 2nd tank on the way. It's going to be a tough hold. Solar, he rotates to the natural. Tank is out of range. And Roaches are slipping in. They're slipping into the natural base. Should be working towards a mineral line. He gets in. SCVs are going down. And he's purposely fighting out of range of the tank. Just fight out of range of the tank. Force the Marines to you. And again, Clem's out of position. Now he's collapsing in. And there's just 1 tank. It's going to be while down. Tank falls. And that's gonna be it. I mean, the boys are being pulled. Clem getting desperate. Bunker goes down. And Clem just being punished for his failed Hellbat push. Did not do enough with it. It was a gamble. It was a big gamble. Trying to punish Solar. I mean, Solar, he didn't have any tech. He had no roaches. He had no Bailey Nest, but he did have plenty of queens. And GG gets called. Solar, he will take the series 3-1. And Solar will be this week's WardiTV Monday champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played, Solar. He will take the series. Once again, I will say that this was a very technical series. We saw something very similar against Raynor, where we had some very specific builds overall. Game 1, if you recall, coming into Mothership, we did see attempted muta play out of Solar. I say attempted muta play. We saw Solar trying to maintain his bases, and we saw that Clem was doing an amazing job at denying creep and shutting him down. Like, honestly, Game 1 was crazy impressive for Clem. Clem just dominating the map, gaining map control, containing the Zerg player, and Solar just couldn't keep up. He just couldn't keep up with the rotations. Game 1 was crazy, but then we got into Game 2. Game 2 onwards. Game 2 was the game where Solar went 2-base muta, and if you remember, unscattered. The mutas were unscattered. Mutas, they got crippling damage. It was insane how much Solar achieved on Winter Madness to gain map control, to kill SCVs, and as we mentioned, Clem forced a 2-base play, but Clem didn't confirm the mutas, so that was on Clem, that he just didn't confirm what was going on, and it was caught with his pants down. And from there, he just lost map control, and things snowballed from there. Game 3, we saw Fake Out. We saw Fake Out's attempted muta play, but instead going into Mass Hydra Lurker. We saw that Clem, he was late to scout, late to realize he was already locked in towards Biomine, and he failed to kill Solar. Solar, his win condition was defend, survive until Lurkers, and he got there. He was able to survive until Lurker tech, as Clem was kind of baited into a longer game with Biomine. With that, Clem was shut down. And then we had Game 4, of course, where Clem, he went for his own aggressive build. It failed, and it was game from then and there. It was it was just failed aggression, failed Hellbat push. GG, well played. And again, a very technical series. We didn't really get to see much like quote-unquote standard play, but just a lot of very hyper-specific builds on each map. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. Very dynamic series here between Solar and Clem. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Kebab, I think, maybe. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Thank you so much. We do appreciate the support. Do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the casting, the content, and the StarCraft, as we are live on a daily basis here on the CranKy Ducklings. And once again, as a reminder, we used to cast this tournament, WardiTV Monday, on a regular basis, every single Monday live. But because of daylight savings back in October, now in Europe it starts, or because daylight savings hit Europe, now it starts very late here in Australia. So it's very late. It starts now, actually. So WardiTV Mondays, they actually start at this time, which is at 11 p.m. here in Australia, and it usually goes up until like 3-4 a.m. in the morning, which is quite late, quite late. So we can't commit to casting live, so instead we have settled for replay casts back. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you for the support. I hope you enjoyed the content. I hope you enjoyed the casting. I was really curious to see how Clem versus Solar would turn out, and how they'd compare to each other. And again, as you mentioned, it was just very hyper-specific builds. I love how diverse Solar was, not just in this series, but against Raynor as well. Like, very, very specific builds and specific styles. And in the end, to take it. Congratulations. Congratulations to the Solar. Here we go. You know that character in the Natty? Mr. Sheffield? So oh no. I don't remember the name of the butler or the others, but sure. CC Babcock, okay. I'll take it. You know, it's been a long time since I've watched the Nanny. I do apologize. I'll take your word for it. Oh no, yes, oh that's Cece. Oh yeah, the antagonist. Okay. Right, yeah. See, of course, Cece. That's a wild reference, by the way. Yes, I remember. Cece. Jesus, that's a blast from the past, Pappy. Aye. Lovely. But with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. I hope you enjoyed the content. I hope you enjoyed the casting. If you're curious, if you want to support us in other ways, let us quickly head on over here. !socials in the chat. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. We upload on YouTube on a daily basis. So if you, for example, wanted to watch these games again, or if you want to watch some of the other WardiTV Mondays or other tournaments that we cover, then you can check us out over on YouTube. It's all there, uploaded every day on YouTube. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. Meanwhile, this is our weekly schedule. We just wrapped up with our Monday cast of WardiTV Monday. Tomorrow we're going to be live with the StarCraft Evolution League. On Wednesday we're going to be live with Pegasus Cup. On Thursday we're live with the Turtle Tussle. We have the Pondcast Thursday evening. That is our weekly talk show where we do discuss all things StarCraft. And we have the RSL Revival StarCraft offline finals over the weekend. Now that is like kind of like scribbled on because that event is happening. I don't yet know if we have permission to co-stream. We did have permission to co-stream season 2 and season 3 and season 1 as well, like the online events, but I will have to confirm if we can co-stream the offline events. So I'll have to reach out to Gemini and to those at RSL. If we have permission, then we'll be casting it. If not, then we'll just watch. We'll just watch here instead. We'll watch from the chat, from the chat. So a little bit tentative on whether or not we cast RSL. We casted the previous seasons, but a little bit tentative about this weekend. But regardless, it'll still be there, and I do still recommend you to support the events, support the organizers, support the tournaments. If you're a fan of Rainer and Maru and Hero and Classic and Zaun and all the others are all going to be competing over that weekend. They'll be competing. So do check it out. Otherwise, if you want to support us monetarily, you can do so via Patreon. !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon is designed to fund our tournaments on a regular basis. Sparkling, Tuna Cup, Sea Duckling Open, Macedon Open, all of our events are funded via Patreon. Bearing in mind as well that because of RSL this weekend, we will not have a Tuna Cup on Sunday. It's going to be moved to Tuesday. So the Tuna Cup has moved to Tuesday instead, just to accommodate for the Revival StarCraft League. So our weekly event has moved over, just as a heads up. It's still going to be there, just a couple of days later. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. I do appreciate it. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is live at the moment? We are a little bit spoiled for choice. I do see that Sort of is streaming, but we have been giving a lot of love to Sort of. Who else is live? Let's see. Railgun. True. Might give Railgun some love. Railgun. Rainer is live. I know Wardi's hosting his event. We'll give some love to Railgun. Give him some love. It's a great guy. Again, we rage Sort of a lot, so we'll spread the love. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And again, we'll be live in around 12 hours time with the StarCraft Evolution League event. That is some StarCraft Evolution content. SC Evo. So if you want to see some Brood War versus SC2, bam, we got you covered tomorrow in 12 hours. 12 hours time. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, papi ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego.